Hey, welcome to Coding Demos. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to create a custom alert dialog. In the previous tutorial, we learn actually how to use how to create a basic or a standard alert dialog. But in this video, we're going to go to a next level where we create a custom alert dialog. So let me open up the emulator and show you the app that we will build in this video. So here in the emulator we have a simple button, says show dialog. You click on that, then we have the alert dialog here. It's that has a login layout. Basically the login doesn't do the actual login operation here. So here we have the two edit text, we have the email and password, and we have the login button. So when you fill, for example, your let's say email, right? So let's say I put the email here, and then you put the password, right? And then you click on login, then you get a successful toast message saying that login is successful. Now if you left any of these fields empty, then you get another toast saying please fill any empty fields. Alright, cool. Let's go to Android Studio and build the project. So we'll create a new project here, and then we'll call this custom alert dialog tutorial. Alright, then we'll click on next. We'll leave everything as it is. We'll just click on next, and click on finish. Okay, build is complete. Now we'll go to activity underscore main, and then we'll delete this text view, and we're going to add a button that says show dialog. So choose a button, drag it to the center. Alright, and then go to text, and then let me just close this. Alright, and then here we'll call it show dialog. Let me extract this. Extract show dialog. Right, click OK, and then I'm going to change the ID for this, so it's button show dialog, and we're going to okay, so it looks good. Next is we need to go to the main activity, and we need to define the button here. So we call it a button, and then m show dialog equals to cast the button, and then find view by id r.id dot button show dialog, and then we need to set an on-click listener for the show dialog. So m show dialog dot set on click listener. Okay, so inside the onClick method here is where we're going to show the alert dialog. So before we create the alert dialog, we need to actually create a layout. Since this is a custom dialog, so we need to create a separate layout that will act as the layout for the dialog. Let me show you. So we'll open up the project side here, go to resource, go to layout, and then right click, and here we need to create a new layout resource file. Click on that, and then we'll call this dialog login, right? And the root element will be linear layout. That's good. Now click on OK. Alright, next thing is we need to add a title. So we'll drag a text view. Okay, and then we'll change that to, let me close this, we'll change this to login. Okay, and then when we change this to login, another thing is we need to make it center, right? So it's Android layout gravity, and then we'll do center, and then let's make sure it's centered. Okay, it's not centered. Oh, we need to change this to, instead of the width match parent, we'll make it wrap content. We'll go back to design. Alright, so we have it centered, that's fine. Another thing is we need to increase the text size for this. So it's Android text size, and we'll need to give it, let's say, 20 SB. We'll increase it a bit, let's say 30 SB. Okay, it looks quite alright. I think it's a bit small. Let's reduce the size to 25 SB. Alright, and then we'll need to extract this. So click on that, extract string resource, click OK. Alright, and then now we have the login button. Let's change the text style. So we'll make it bold, Android text style, and then we'll choose bold. Okay, and let's give a space between the text view and the top here. So we'll just give a margin top, Android layer margin top of 5 dp. Okay. Next thing is we need to add two edit text. One is for the email and one is for the password. So scroll down a bit and look for the email. So this is the email, just drag it here. This is for the email and this is for the password. This is password. Okay. Now we'll go back to text again, and then we need to give a hint for this edit text. So the first thing is email, so we'll do Android hint, and then we'll call it email. And then let me extract this for as well. Extract string resource, click OK. Then change the ID, so instead of edit text, we'll call it ET email, and then go to password. Let me just copy this and then change this to password. Then extract the string resource for it. So extract, click OK, and then change the ID for the password edit text. So it's ET password. Let's go back. Okay, let's give a space between the email edit text and the title, which holds the login word. So here in the email, we'll give Android margin top. We'll say 5 dp. We'll make it 10 then. 10 dp. Okay, so that's good for the email. Now we'll do the password. Between the password and the email edit text, we'll give a bit space, small space. So we'll use Android margin, and then we'll just put it in the password edit text, but we'll reduce it to 5 dp. Okay. Another thing is we need to, now we have the email and password, we need to add the button, the login button. So this is the button, then put it right here, and then we'll need to change the color. So we need so the first is the text, so we'll call it login. Extract the string resource as usual. Okay, resource login already exists. So we'll just call it a login underscore label. Alright, and then for the button, change the ID, so it's button login, and then we need to give a color, a background color. So we do Android background, and we'll use the color accent. Let's go to design. We'll need to change the text color for the login button, so it is Android text color, and we'll use the built-in Android colors. We're looking actually for the white color. That's the one. So Android color / white. Okay, let's give a space between the buttons, between the button and the password. Let's copy this Android margin, and then we'll give 10 dp. Okay. Another thing is we need to give some padding for the layout so that the edit text and the buttons will not stick to the edge of the screen. So we'll give a padding for and put it in the root layout so that it will apply to every view inside that layout file. So we do Android padding, and then we'll do a simple 5dp. Okay, so now it's not sticking that much to the edge of the screen, which is really good. All right, now we have the layout ready, and now we'll go to the main activity here. And inside the onClick method is where we're going to create the alert dialog, the custom alert dialog. So we'll do alert dialog dot builder, and we call it m builder equals to new alert dialog dot builder, and they will give it the context, which is main activity dot this. Okay, and next we need to create a view. We call it m view. So this view is we need to inflate the layout that we've just created. So it is get layout inflator dot inflate. So in the inflate here, it takes two values, right? It takes the resource file that we just created and then a view group. So the resource file would be the dialog underscore login. So it is r dot layout dot dialog underscore login, and for the second value, the view group, which is the view group. But for now, we don't have the view group because it's in the alert dialog, so we'll just pass in null. Okay. Now we have inflated the layout. Next, we need to define the views inside that layout, inside the dialog login .xml file. So we have two edit texts, so we define them right here inside the alert dialog. So edit text, and then we call it m email equals to we need to cast it because it's edit text, and then but please pay attention here that we're not gonna do the usual define method, which is find view by id, and then r.id dot, and then we look for the email, and that's it. This will not work because why? Because what we're doing here is we're actually referencing an email edit text in the activity underscore main here, but in reality it doesn't have any edit text inside this layout. So you'll basically get an exception because you're trying to reference a value, you're trying to reference a UI view which doesn't exist inside that layout. So what you're going to do here is that you're going to add the mview.findView by ID. So when you do this, means that you are actually going through the mview, and then you're trying to get a reference of that specific UI view under the layout inflated that we've just inflated, under the layout that we've just inflated. So you need to add this mview or whatever letter that you use to define the view here, because without it then you will get an exception. So please don't forget that, and we'll do the same thing for the other views, which is the password and the button. So for this one I'll repeat it. So it's edit text, and then we'll change it to m password, and then we'll change the ID of r.id.et password, and then we'll do the same thing for button. So we'll change this to button, and then we call it m login, change the cast to button, and then change the ID to button login. Okay, so now we have defined the views. Next is we need to set an on-click listener for the login button, because right here when we go to the dialog underscore login, when you click on the login button here, that's where we're going to show a toast message. So if the user have successfully filled these both edit text, then we'll show a success toast message. Otherwise, we'll show the failed text toast message. So here we're going to set an on-click listener. So it's mlogin dot oops mlogin dot set on click listener, new on click listener. So inside this on click listener method is where we're going to check for the we're going to check if the email and password fields are not empty. So we'll do that right here. So if m you need to use the exclamation mark. Let me we start with the exclamation mark and then we'll do a checking. So if email dot get text dot toString dot is empty. So you see why we're using this exclamation mark. We're saying that if the email dot get text dot toString dot is empty, when we use this, which means it is not empty, the opposite. Alright, so we're saying if the email dot get text to toString is not empty, and we do the same checking for the password, and m don't forget the exclamation mark. So m password dot get text dot toString dot is empty. Okay, here is where we're going to do the look why image actually from inner class data text. Okay, so we'll just put a final. Okay. So inside here, inside this if condition, we're checking if the email is not empty and the password is not empty, then show a toast message. Toast dot make text, and then we'll give the context main activity dot this, and then we'll give the message login successful, and we set the length, which we choose short, and then we'll call the show method. So it's the same toast, right? If you click on putting password, login successful. Okay, successful. Did I miss something? Let me check the spelling. Change it to. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So we have the toast message now. Login successful. Otherwise, let me just copy this toast, and then we'll change this to please fill any empty fields. All right. Let me extract the string resource. Extract this, and then we'll call it success login message, and then this one is error login message. Okay, so if everything is good, email password are not empty, then you get this message. Otherwise, you show this error message. Okay, and then now outside the on-click listen of the login button is we're going to create we need to set the view for the layout. What I'm trying to say is we need to reference the mbuilder dot set view. So inside the set view method is where we're going to pass in the mView. So let's say, for example, if you forget this line, then you won't see the dialog being popped up in your screen because of this line. So you need to set this line. Okay, now after that we need to show the alert dialog. So we'll just create alert dialog, call it dialog equals to mbuilder dot create. Now we're creating the alert dialog, and then we need to show the dialog. So it's dialog dot show. Okay, so we have the button here, show dialog, and inside the button we're creating the alert dialog, and then we're referencing the custom layout we've just created. We've defined the email and password and the buttons. We set the on-click listener for the button, and then we are checking whether the email password are filled. If it's true, then show a toast message. If they're left empty, then show a different toast message. And then we're setting the view for the M builder, which you really need to remember this line. And then we're showing the dialog. Okay, so let's run the app. Okay, so we have the app here. So click on the button, show dialog. Alright, so we have the box here, we have the title, we have the email. So we'll say your email at yahoo.com. The password is 123456 and click on login. Login is successful. Let's leave the password empty. Please fill any empty fields. Let's put the password, but we'll leave the email empty. And we get the same message, please fill any empty fields. If you want to dismiss the dialog, you can either click on the outside space here, or you can click on the back button. Okay, that's it for this tutorial. If you guys really like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these awesome tutorials, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks again for watching and happy coding.